On the 20th of July, the judge, as Caesar, would have given a judgment. She would have ruled that the judge that would have sentenced me to St. Anne's would have erred in law. And the victory would have ricocheted throughout Trinidad and Tobago. I get many calls some family friends, and even self-supporters. But this journey, it wasn't easy. It was with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, literally. Because up till today, Trinidad and Tobago, my child is 9 years old. Well, going to turn 9 years. And the last time I would have seen him was 2.5 years. Now, this is the only spit yet that I have with him, the only memory. And not for one, his mother is abiding with the court order. And till present, every time I come to bring up the matter before any magistrate, because they would have known about the sensitive matter that, I would have brought up the state. They didn't want to hear, up till present. They didn't want to hear my side of the story in the Point 14 court. I have been pigeonholed and sidestepped up till this day. And procedural advantages, they would have gone down that line. So basically the advantage is still going on, but they are doing it within a smarter way. Trinidad and Tobago, it is not easy to be going through things like this. I've had a lot of sleepless nights. There are a lot of people that would have abandoned me too. People seeing the victory, but they didn't see the pain, they didn't see the struggle, they didn't see the heartache, they didn't see the sleepless nights in which I would have had fighting with myself, fighting with this matter. Yes, I win a matter, but still I lost a child to the system. Not because the system is imperfect. The human beings within the system, they are the ones that are imperfect. And most of them, as I would have experienced, are biased. Nobody don't want to hear. Nobody actually feel any pain that I am feeling. Everybody feel, they see, yes, it was victorious, but at the end of the day, I am still waiting. I lost a lot. Fighting this, people say, I'm chasing dreams, chasing phantoms, leave the thing as it is. But at the end of the day, if you was going through something like this, I wonder what you would have done. Many would have jumped off the train, and the only person that would have never left my side was the father. There was nights that, I stopped talking about it. I started crying, I started praying. The last few months was one of the most hardest 2 months that I would have faced. It was very challenging. I felt as if, I lost my soul. And in grappling with that, I still speak about the issues. Now, you see the win. It's after a few days, 2 days, it started hurt, it started pain. I started remember, I started watch back. I started ask myself, how did I reach to this? How it come to this? And the thing about it, the only thing I could say, Trinidad and Tobago, is thank God. Thank God. That's the only thing I could say about it, because it wasn't me. When I thought that I alone was walking this journey, it wasn't me. And what I would have faced Trinidad and Tobago, it would have killed anybody. I want to go into depths, but it would have killed anybody. I literally lose everything. Everything. The only comfort that I had was you. The people. I'm gonna tell you why. Many a times I put aside my issue and I highlight issues on behalf of people. And because of that, you know, a lot of the videos and things that I would have done would have gone throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And on the streets, some of you all would have meet man say, you know, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. And I say, yes, in the ring I stay fighting. Not seeing what was burning inside. Because you, that was always there for me. Thank God. Praise be to Almighty God. Thanks for watching, and this evening I am going to do a interview on this platform. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Court slams unlawful psychiatric detention of father during custody hearing. Again, High Court slams unlawful psychiatric detention of father during custody hearing. A High Court judge has ruled that a point 14 father was unlawfully committed to St. Anne's Psychiatric Hospital during a child custody matter, finding his constitutional rights was breached. In a judgment by Justice Marcia Caesars, the court found that senior magistrate Alicia Chanka acted without jurisdiction when she ordered Jeffrey to undergo 14-day psychiatric assessment in 2020. Judge ruled Jeffrey 92 hours detention violated his rights to liberty and due process, and that his treatment amounted to cruel, inhumane, degrading treatment. Jeffrey, who represented himself in a civil custody and paternity case, was perceived to be acting erratically in court. However, two psychiatrists later determined behavior was linked to stress and that he had no mental illness. The court found that magistrate wrongfully used provisions of Mental Health Act meant for criminal matters in a civil case, leading to Jeffrey's detention at St. Anne's Hospital. Jeffrey was handcuffed, searched, detained at a police station, later taken to the psychiatric facility where he was released after doctors confirmed he had no psychiatric disorder. Justice Caesar ruled that he was denied a fair process because he was not warned that committal was being considered, given a chance to respond, or allowed legal representation. The state has been ordered to pay Jeffrey's legal costs, with the court set to decide on damages on November the 10th. Also, ladies and gentlemen, in other news, crime, highway breakdown ends in armed robbery, mass gunmen.
Sidechain on.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to you, to members of the national community. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to all those who are listening outside here. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, you see, at one point in time, I would have known that it would have reached to this. And where is this? I know that one day we would have reached here. We would have eventually reached a point that I know I will have to interview, I'll have to talk about this issue. And the thing about it is this, Trinidad and Tobago. It's not that I was running or hiding from it. It was very emotional for me to talk about in the first place. And you know what was done Up till today, I still feel the effects of what is taking place, or the whips from the court. It wasn't an easy road. I learned a lot, and yet still, it's still a fight. So before I get in to the depths of this interview here today, I would like to play an old video.
That when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never ever end. How I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Ooh. When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, yeah, yeah. Then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I was asleep, he left $1 under my sheet. Never dreamed that he would be gone from me. If I could steal one final glance, one final step, one final dance with him, I'd play a song that would never ever end. 'Cause I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Sometimes
So Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. I am here,
Chain on.
and the issue here this evening is which I was prevented and is still being obstructed within the courts of this country from having a relationship with my son, who on October 10th is going on to 9 years. Now, the last time I would have seen and interacted or have any kind of closeness with him is when he was 2 years and a half. Now, the lawyer that is engaging in the matter, in which in the future I will reveal the nasty, stinking, dirty tactics that they are using. Up till this day, as I say, he is instrumental in withholding any interaction between me and this child. So the day when I would have heard NCW would have talk about this whole matter at length, I hear what he say, and I noted every single thing that was said. Now people tell me sue him because I know the gentleman and know, and what they know is what will be existing within the public domain, and on who feel they know. But just as I follow a God who is merciful, I am also merciful too. I realize the gentleman didn't say anything again and mean say anything again according to that. Because I know what I could say in my defense concerning this, in which I am still experiencing in the courts of Trinidad and Tobago, in which seemingly ought to be just, and they are not. All of us would have faced certain things that we could say otherwise concerning what is taking place within the court system in this country. And when I speak in here, I am speaking from experience up till present Trinidad and Tobago. There is a magistrate in the Point 14 court that is using or facilitating a lawyer that is engaging in procedural advantages. They keep on shifting the batter. And what you're going on, or you see the win, as I say, but or you're not experiencing the hurt, the intimidation from different police officers. And those who know some of them, yes, one of them is the warrant man. Are you getting tapped? I could call names endlessly that would take place here because everybody's buddies. Just the other day again, I almost get. Almost. But some of them is being very careful. But don't worry yourself, I have a very much watchful eye on this whole situation that is taking place and coming in the future. I am going to reveal what is taking place still. So at this point in time, I ain't gonna lie, before I go on to any part of the interview, let me bring in some of the guests that ought to join me here this afternoon. Who are seen here? Chatter. Good afternoon. I know if he heard me. No, he's still not inside. Anyway, let me get into the story. Trinidad and Tobago, as I remember vividly what would have taken place. On the morning before I was said that the Telma was locked up. You ever step into a room where you know something wrong? You could feel the presence of the room. You could feel something wrong, a matter of fact, taking place. You could tell that something was absolutely wrong because you know how the court is in point. And the court in point is like this. When it is that the DUSO and decide to call your name, a matter of fact, let me bring everybody up on screen one time. Good evening, Candice. Hello? Good afternoon, Miss Edwards. Anyway, let me see if I could get in. Right, Miss Edwards, good afternoon.
Hi, pleasant good night, Mr. Workers' Rights. What's up?
No, I'm not hearing yours. I'm not hearing your.
How come? That's not. Let me try again. You hear me now?
Just now, let me deal with the speakers there from a little bit. Tell me, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Are you hearing me?
Right, right. I hear you loud and clear.
Thank you for the input.
Hold on there a second, eh?
Xavier.
Hold on there a second, Candice. I was now hearing you, but I'm not hearing you again. You hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Right. So I'm putting you up on screen now. I'm putting you up on screen. I'm putting chatter up on screen. I don't know what's going on with chatter on that side. So I'm putting everybody here up on the screen so the general public could see. So tell me in the comment section. I wonder if anybody hearing us on YouTube, a matter of fact. Right, Candice, as I was talking about this story here this afternoon here online, I know from your aspect of it, or it was to, yeah, let me bring it on screen here.
Well, I heard Sean Jeffrey said we are not hearing her now. So I don't know if they are not hearing me. Not hearing Candice. Hi guys, are you hearing me? Alright, so Sean Jeffrey would have said he's not hearing me.
Alright, let me the thing about technology. The thing about technology, yeah.
Take your time. You're not only let your voice be in the program where I just cut off at 90. We'll get it blind. Because we long await this interview with you. We need to get this interview from you before you go on to any other platform and get this interview.
Alright, the city ain't hearing you, so let me see if I could bring the audio. The thing about it is, Candice, I know you're hearing me, but I'm not hearing you all at all. I don't know what's causing it. I'm not hearing you all. Anyway, am I here?
Somebody said they are hearing me very well, so I don't know.
Right. I hear you. I hear you. So everything up and running. So, Candice, I mean, my thoughts get a little throw off there just now.
They say I'm sounding a bit low. I don't know.
I hear you.
All right. Sister Angela Richard said that they are hearing us now.
Right, they hear you.
Loud and clear.
Okay, then.
Everybody in the comment section, if you're hearing me, just send me a thumbs up. Sorry, let me know if you're hearing. All right, people saying it's good now.
Right. Well, right. So everybody's here.
Where's Strata?
Everybody's here, and so everybody again, thanks for joining, and thanks for coming on here on this platform. Sean Jeffrey, good evening. Candice,
Yes.
That Sean Jeffrey did. I'm a brother.
No brother.
So I guess he want to hear the story too, because nobody didn't know the story in full.
Yeah.
Right. I just put it on screen. I know I'm not in studio.
I would have asked all my followers to join us here. So eventually they will come up and they will join us. Nice. So we're getting some thumbs up. We're getting a lot of thumbs up from Sean Jeffrey, Don Cadet, Sherilyn Blair.
Right, so I wanted to put Oya up on screen. Unfortunately, I ain't gonna be able to join anybody else to this thing. It go create too much turbulence in the background. So, Candice, let me start at the morning. The morning that would have taken place, Candice. I get up early in the morning. I say my prayers because I would have just came out from an accident. I had an accident at the time where I went by my uncle and I would have fallen down. And I fall down and a piece of metal spike would have went through, it would have just missed my anus and come out through my belly. It was looking like this underneath my clothes. I just showing you, it was looking like this. My skin was pointed up like this.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, son. I get frightened. I feel immediate pain. And I was nursing a wound that my bladder was burst. I had a catheter. I went to the hospital. And I stayed there for a couple of, almost a month on 2 occasions.
Okay. Okay.
So I spent about 2 months in the hospital. You remember it at that time, it had an earthquake that would have shake Trinidad and Tobago so violently, people, it would have lasted quite a while, about 5 minutes or something. So I was actually lying down.
I could remember that I ran on a hold my television.
Well, girl, I was lying down in the hospital and I seen people running and I can't run. I was seeing people ducking underneath the bed and I can't duck. I was saying, boy, if this building fall down here, that is it for me.
Okay.
I was in the hospital at the time and I would have faced that earthquake where I was actually helpless. So when I came out of the hospital, I was walking with a stick. And I had a belly band that I used to put around my belly to hold up my belly. And it used to hurt. So, be seeing that I had the catheter, you would have known that if you had a catheter inside of you for so long, your bladder does the muscle. You just have to pee every 3 minutes or every 5 minutes or something, so it does just come out. You can't hold it in. And the same thing I would have had also do with when I was, when I had also go to the toilet and use the toilet. Every time I go to the toilet, it was something that it was real difficult. I ain't gonna lie for you. I used to use paraffin oil. I used to take that every day. And I used to walk with a stick. So me and Joshua's mother used to live together. And seeing that I was underneath this type of, I could not go anyway. I could not function. I did went by my mother to, she didn't see about me. I mean, not that I didn't trust. We did already had communication issues where we could not see eye to eye on certain things. And I went down by my mother. And my mother was seeing about me, doing the normal thing. I lie down, I can't move. She make tea, she make breakfast.
Take your time, take your time. I know, this is very emotional.
You see, I want to say this before I continue. All families just have issues. And trust me, our family, we's not alien or strangers to that. And, many times I would end up in the hospital. And, I see a lot of friends that would have came in the interim. But despite whatever issues that we have at the time, with family, despite what, You know, I was able to see every one of them would have came and, came and looked for me. And they didn't come once, they didn't come twice. They come until I came out of the hospital. So family is here for a reason and a purpose. And many of you may have issues with your family, but I doubt many of you have been in accident and we end up in the hospital more than me. Trust me, at that time I thought a year can pass and I end up in the hospital. So it's always good to bury any resentment. Again, family is there for a reason, and plenty of times I would have gotten plenty enlightenment when I was in the hospital, Candice. And I would like to say something. I see my brother on the line, so I want him to hear this part. And it's the same thing that go happen to you as a father. We always used to blame ourselves for saying, Daddy wasn't around. He wasn't interactive with us. And some parts of the story could be true, but it's better than not having a father. And even with my next son, what I get to understand is this. You see, anytime you're a father and your child is not saying anything about you that they disappointed you, because you're going to hear it. Sometimes they go say they don't like you and they're disappointed in you. But you is actually the first person that they're going to say that they dislike, because you had to disappoint them first. You had to tell them that you are going on time to go in your bed. You have school in the morning. Time for you to pick up a book. You only play. You is actually their first disappointment. So I learned that as a parent. So don't vex when they say bye. And watch me, they say it in such a way it does make you feel guilty. So don't be afraid when a child is actually saying that. But anyway, let me move on to the story. And I was in San Fernando General Hospital. That happened first. So on my way to healing, there is where the talks had to come. A morning I would have went up home from by my mother. And when I reach up, I see Joshua's mother getting she had her son ready for school. And when I actually was downstairs in the house, I was lying down on the chair. And the mother, son, the child come downstairs. And she had me in such a way that I was afraid to say anything to she next child. Because of some of the comments that she used to make when I correct him. So he come downstairs, he didn't tell me morning nothing. So I call her, I say that is not something that I say, look, I call the child name, look, so and so come downstairs and he tell me morning. And she called the child, asked him if that is true in front of me. He say no. She turned around, she watched me, she shake her head, and she walk off and gone. That same evening, he come from school, he do the same thing. I say, you in here, the child and tell me nothing. Thing. You should not just tell you good evening, just tell you good evening. I say, see this, I mean staying here to take this type of nonsense. I gone back down the road by my mother and I stayed down there until. And then going in and out through the hospital because the bills paid, I pay the bills because around the time, I mean, everybody in the area know I used to lend money. So, I had little income coming in still. And somebody called me. Well, no, while I was down by my mother, a police vehicle show up. I was inside. A police vehicle show up. So I want to know, well, I mean, they stay by the house and they keep on blowing. I saying, well, what happened here? By the time I was able to get myself up to come outside, the police vehicle drive off and it gone. So what I would have done, I would have called my partner and I say, hey, I see a police vehicle come by me. Let me go down to the station and see what I want. I feel something wrong. And I go down to the station, I tell them who I is. I say, look, a police vehicle would have came by me. Yeah, the man, yeah, you so and so. I say, yeah. And he gave me a summons to come to court.
So you walk into a summons.
I walk into a summons to come to court. And the summons was, yeah, what the summons was based on. My girl wanted a protection order. We never had any conversation. We never had no bacchanal. My girl wanted a protection order against me, who now still nursing my wounds, have a big hole in my belly. Wanted a protection order. I went to court. The judge, the magistrate put it off for next year. I actually walk in the court with a stick. I want to know, well, what protection order is this about? From the time I see that, I say, this is what going on. So I actually, I say, girl, you know, I want to spend a day with my son. Mind me, we living together in a house. I just went down and stayed by my mother for a little while. I say, I want my son to come down and spend the day with me. I could come and pick him up. She tell me no. So
Wow.
It get me vexed because I used to go and walk him and them kind of things. So I decided to go up there and take him. Like my son. So I come up there in the morning, I say, girl, I come for him. I come for my son to spend the day with me. She say, something she tell me. She tell me, no, I can't take him. So he was there on the ground, I pick him up, I put some clothes in my bag, and I decided to go with him. The evening, police calling me and telling me how I kidnapped my son.
Wow.
She started saying that is parental kidnapping.
Listen to me, stick up in. That is your child. That child belongs to you and the mother. You wanted to spend some time with your son. You came as the father. You let her know that you was taking the child to spend the day, and she went and reported that in the station as a kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
So let me move on. What did the police say to you? Because I believe the father has equal rights as the mother, not so?
Yeah, well, that is what I believe in.
Okay.
So they say I kidnapped the child. Candice, I ain't gonna lie, that one real bother, man. But anyway, they say I kidnapped the child, and they're calling it parental kidnapping. A police officer called me outside. He said, boy, you see this kind of bacchanal and thing what does take place here? We don't see this here all the time. It ain't looking good. If you can't make it, I say, wait a minute, if we can't make it, I say, she living together in my house, you know. I say, I don't know nothing about we can't make it. We never had no quarrel. I get sick, I went into the hospital, I was in an accident, I come out, I went by my mother. He said, take my stupid advice. I say, okay, I sit down, I bring back the child, I study it. Girl, I get a nagging feeling. I lie down all day because I sick to her. I'm walking around with a catheter. I lie down all day. Some tell me, Jeffrey, go down in the station and listen to what the police say and bring up this girl. Candice, I sit down and I went by the JP. I sit down in the morning and I gone by the JP. It are not like no visit. You can't bring up somebody for visitation rights. You could only bring them up for custody. So I brought she up for custody. I went and I talked to the JP, and I bring she up for custody in the Point 14 court. That was the advice. So when it reached her custody, all I had was to do is to tell them is I didn't really wanted custody, but I want visitation rights to be able to see the child. He said it was a man. He said no scene, and but I paid the money and it reached her that. Candace, when I coming out of the court, Candace,
Sidechain R.
I see she outside the court coming in, waiting to see the JP to bring me up for custody and for maintenance. She tell me she here, she by the court, and she tell me that she here, that I am in the process of bringing she up for custody, so she come down by the court to bring me up for custody and maintenance. Nobody didn't know I went in the court. None of my family member know I came in the court to do that. None of them know. None. They inside my mother.
So then she probably had a relative working in the station or in the court.
We go get to that.
I'm just asking you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I suspect that is the case. So she was informed by the court. That is what I think. That I am there in the process of bringing she up for custody. So she fly down there to bring me up for custody and maintenance while she was in the house. So now you have to understand the devious, sinister plan of that individual. She bring me up for a protection order against me. That was to get me out of the place.
And who the place belong to?
No, at the time I did. The place was mine. At the time, I was engaged in purchasing the place.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Move on from there.
Yeah. So that was the plan, a matter of fact. So when that take place, the person say, yeah, we're going on. They don't want to sell it again, and we end up, they end up giving me back the money and they take back the place. So that's what ended up happening there. So
right.
I didn't mind because I didn't have the rest of money at the time. I wasn't working and thing, and the decide was to operate, so, and I didn't mind. So now she didn't know that. So she hit me that protection order and decided to go down that type of way. So while she there, I mean studying she again because I know man and woman does have a little thing sometimes the see thing, and I was still paying the bills, still buying groceries, still doing operating normal in the house. Well, I start back to thing, it had different rooms. I stay in a room, she stay in a room, and we was functioning. Now I want to talk about it. There are a lot of things that I was seeing she not doing, but everybody had a perspective. That is not me.
Yeah, let's not dwell on that. Let us come down to the part where I don't mind if you probably could fast forward it up to when you started to go into court and how the magistrate would have dealt with you and how it resulted into you ending up in the mental institution.
Yeah, well,
can we take it from there?
Yes. So when I started to go to court, and I was shocked. When I started to go to court and things, we started to go to court. Eventually, she did move out and so forth. So when we started to go to court, when she called for maintenance, I would have tell the magistrate, I say, hey, she never worked in how much years I was seeing about the child up to present. So I don't have an issue. I don't know where this is coming from. Why are you mandating me at this point in time to be paying through the court for the child? I said, I did not have no issue with that. She said, yeah, what going on? The woman bring you up for maintenance, and you know, she maybe have she weighing thinking, this is a court order, yeah, how much you willing to pay? Well, I end up telling the magistrate. I say, well, I not working nowhere. I sick. At this point in time, I was in a serious accident. I'm not too sure that my bodily function might come back to normal. I say, at the end of the day, whatever I decide. So the magistrate come up with a figure of $200 a week.
Right.
I say I go try my utmost best to meet with the demands, because as I tell you, I'm working. You know, I pay.
Let me ask you a question. Did you explain to the magistrate your mental health, well, actually your body function, that you was in an accident, a steel would have go up in your body, and you know you was hospitalized? Did you explain that to the magistrate?
Yes, I explained to the magistrate, and the magistrate asked she that, and she said yes. She asked Joshua mother that, and Joshua mother confirmed and say yes, that really take place, and the magistrate still bypass that.
Wow, that magistrate was harsh.
Yes, and that is the same magistrate, Miss Alicia Chanka, that would have done that. But anyway, and after that, we keep on having issues with the visitation rights, where I did get liberal access, and liberal access was that I able to tell the mother, you know, some at least at 24 hours in advance, girl, I coming for my child this weekend here, and you know, I taking him for the weekend. So liberal access is not structural or mandated by the court. It's something that you could ask, you're asking for, and you know, it's something that's supposed to encourage the parent to kind of structure how they want to do things then.
All right, so kind of co-parent.
All right. So the first time I do it, she tell me no. You can't get him this weekend without any explanation. So I say I could get him the next weekend. No, you can't get him. I let the time pass, because it come like that I set up the court date in every 3 months period now. So I try again. She said no, you can't get him. I said, what really going on here, boy? So I go on the station now. I go on the airport station and I tell the police. The police take she number and call she and say, ma'am, this gentleman here would like to see his son, want to get his child for the weekend, if that is possible. Here what she do, she asks the police for the badge, for she badge number, and she tells she no, she not giving me no access to the child.
Yeah, but stick up in. But that is a court order. That is an order that came from the court, and you're supposed to honor a court's order. So she big and she bad and she brawlish. So she did not honor the court's order. Not so?
Yeah, but that liberal access is an order that I could break. That'll tell you how intellect she is. So liberal access is not structured. It's not something that the court demanding that you have to listen to the next person. So they were saying it's supposed to be something coming from genuine. All right, you can get the child.
Oh, so then the way how the magistrate structured the whole thing, hoping that you all would have been able to co-parent, but she used that at her disadvantage.
Yes. So what would have taken place thereafter, when that happened, is that when the police, in her wisdom, would have realized, wait now, brother man, you ain't no power there with this access that you're taking here. You need that when you go back to court, you ask for structural access. So structural access is having the weekends and them type of thing. So the court saying, well, this weekend here, you have to give this man the child for this 2 days.
All right. Okay.
So the police tell me go and ask for structural access.
Okay.
So when I went
So when I went before the court and I faced the magistrate, you remember all of that? For that 3 months, mean but that I asked her no access again because I don't understand the game she played. Me, I not going down that road. I asked her 2-3 times, it would have taken, it would have blanked my whole month straight. I ain't going down that road again. I listen to the police, I wait till the matter start. I ain't bother she, I ain't call she to see no child. And when I went before the court, I asked the court for structural access. The court asked me how much days I want. The child at the time wasn't going to school. I asked for 3 days. And the magistrate would have granted me 3 days access at the time. A week. She get 4, I get 3 days.
A week?
A week, yeah.
Okay.
And I had no problem with that. With the 4 days by the 3 days. I used to come the first time. She followed the access. She followed it properly. I get the child for the 3 days. It used to go on. That went on so far about a month, eh? Well, that went on so far about a month. And a day, I calling she to bring back the child in the evening because I know how vindictive she is, eh? Because she report me for child parental kidnapping already. So I calling she the evening now to bring back the child. She not answering. I say, I wonder if there's a setup, boy. So I decide to go by the station and report it to the police. Hey, I've been calling this individual to pick up the child. You know we have the 3 by 4 days thing a week. And you need to come for the child because, you know, it's your child. It's your turn now. Now, if you wanted me to keep him, well, I didn't say that, eh? But if you wanted me to keep him, all you had also do is say so. But I ain't taking that chance without you saying it. Now, you had also say it in a voice note or something, so I could have get some type of evidence because you done tried that trick on me already, and I ain't taking that.
Well, fair enough.
So, when the police answered, she said she coming home just now. The police carry me with the child. And we drop off the child. She come, she take the child, and we drop off the child. When I drop off the child, yeah, she turned around and tell me. She whispered easy in my ears. She said, not seeing that child again.
Ah! I'm not laughing at you, eh? I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing, Mr. Jeffrey? Take a breather. Take a breather. Breathe out. Now, you see, if this what you are saying here is true, now you see how some women, some of we women, how we conniving. And let me tell you something there. From what you would have said, Mr. Jeffrey, this wasn't about the child. This is about hurting you, to get it to get at you. Using the child as a weapon, but go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Jeffrey.
Now, when she tell me that in my ears, I say, by me studying you, eh? I want to know, well, really going on with you. Me study she. The next week now, when it's time for me to come and pick up the child, she not answering she phone.
Ah.
I gone by the station. She not answering the police and all. I leave the morning. I come back the evening. I gone by the station. Again, I tell the police to call she. She say she answered. She answered this time. Ask the police for your badge number. The man say, oh, that is how you behaving, alright. Think, cause the police went with me by she place where she was renting before. And the morning when I was supposed to get the access, she didn't come outside, the place closed up. So the evening we try back and when I think, she say yeah, she go come to the station and bring the child. And the police warned she, they say, Miss Lady, you have a court order. You need to follow the court order and give the man the child. She come and she bring the child and I take the child and I gone. It have a way she always watching the bag and all them type of things. So when I bring him with pampers, with clothes, and I carrying him. Because we had a bag that I buy for him now. You still put things in it and thing. I carrying him and I taking him after. She bringing the bag empty. Watch that. This was a serious thing that I was going through. She bringing the bag empty. I carried it full. So I go buy little clothes and things for him. Shoes, sandals and things, and I sell it. You know, he did more. So I say you gonna need it, and you know we could have tried something. She bringing back the bag empty. I say, girl, you can't be bringing the child and you're not in the bag. I say I sending the clothes with him. You understand? Because he's staying there more. You bringing an empty bag, so every time he come by, I have to buy clothes. I say, alright. Alright, let me inform Chancellor. So I started keeping good clothes. You know, I send him back with the clothes that he come with. That went on for a little period because, watch me, every minute I had to be calling and going to the police station for the police to enforce the access.
Okay.
And it reached a point that I did start to see some type of behaviors in the child. So I started to talk to her. I said, girl, I say, the child is demonstrating some, what I was seeing as antisocial behavior. Because there are other children, my mother have 9 children and she have how much grandchildren. So I grew up in a house that I see children grow. I know how some of them does be. And I say something wrong here, boy. And the boy kind of having this kind of like afraid crowd of people. I say something wrong here, girl. And she scoops and she walk off. All them time when we going to counseling and thing, and my girl always trying to talk for me in the counseling. But that's our next story. Let me keep to this one.
Yeah, keep on track. Don't go into your personal business.
Yeah, we had a whole thread counseling session. And that part of the case, you know, imagine that, the counselor. You're lucky I have videos with you, You're lucky I call your name. But anyway, the counselor.
No, don't call her name. Don't call her name, he said it.
And letters that are right to social services. That counselor say, and this is where it start from, because this is a whole webinar. The counselor say, in she report, because I find the counselor getting on funny. You see, that tell you, know, the counselor getting on funny. When I would have right through the Freedom of Information Act to get the whole counseling session and everything, where she write and she notes, she would have said, Candice, that I am on prescription medication for depression. She'd say that. So here's why I'm saying where she get that information and all what I write for them to disclose that piece of information, because I have it in my possession. I am on prescription medication. That's what she said to the court. That I am on prescription medication for depression. Where did they get that information? Where? What medical board gave you that information?
So
I never take no tablet concerning no depression in my life. How you could put that in a report?
Let me ask a question. You have that report?
Boy, I have it in copies. The lawyer have some of it. You understand? I have some on a flash drive. I send some away in a package. And I have some right here in my house. So don't get tired.
Right.
So I know they would have, if anything happened to me, they would have tried to scrub the digital footprint concerning this. Where that is concerned.
Okay,
But all the papers.
Nice.
All.
You're on the right track. Let's move on from there.
Right. So she said that. But anyway, let me leave that alone. So coming to the morning, I went to court now. Let me fast forward straight to the morning because too much of stories.
Yeah.
I dress up, I buy a suit. A nice suit. I went in and a
What color?
black. A nice black suit. White shirt.
Yes, man.
Shirt and pants.
Yes.
I represented myself in the court. And I would have read plenty thing about law and them type of thing because you know I see men get mashed up in the court. So and then I realized something that decided I had lawyers and I didn't have lawyers, and I couldn't pay. I pay sometime, I think sometime. But anyway, it had a stigma in this court and point that magistrate don't want to hear your side of the story at all. So
As a man or as a let me ask you, wait, stick up in. As a man or depending on the court matter, magistrate don't want to hear you.
Depending, well, as a man, yes, too as well. But depending on the lawyer that you take. If you don't have a lawyer, and it have a particular lawyer in point, once you take down lawyer, you're winning all the matters on them. All. You're coming out immediately. There's a certain lawyer in the point 14 court. Once you take he, and yes, sure, that Tobago, it are two of them that live in Captiville. But
Don't say nothing, oh God, just skim the thing now. But let me ask you, before we go on, I know Chatter and Xavier would have wanted to be here. Is it anywhere possible that we can bring them up? Because they too want to come, Mr. Xavier and Chatter. We had a discussion about you today, and I believe they would really like to come up and ask you some questions as man to man now.
well, I did see Chatter on the live here. I don't know if all I have to do is press the link and they will come up.
So Chatter, if you're hearing us, just press the link. And or Trinity, if you're there, can you call Chatter or Xavier, send them a message and ask them to join the link, and so that they can come up, please. Because I know the YouTube will be a little different from what we are accustomed to on TikTok, right? Because they want to, especially Xavier. Xavier was elated. He wanted to ask some questions, right? So let us move on. Let us not dwell there. Let's wait until they.
Yeah, so
And that baby cute. And your son cute, I must say. He resembles you a lot. Sweet little baby.
oh yes, there's a story about that too. But anyway, have a lot of stories here, you know. But we will talk about
but
that.
Let us hear from what happened the day when you had on your
right.
Your best suit.
Right, I had my best suit. I put on my suit, and again, I went down by my father, and at the time he was alive, so I had a little parlor thing in front of the house down there, and I take a safe. I had a safe where I used to let my money, and I leave it there. I say, boy, I'm traveling down. I'm traveling to work. I'm traveling to the court. I leave my car home, and I decide to travel to the court. I say my prayers. I just normally get up and go on the beach early in the morning before the court case. Any matter now. And I decide.
Go ahead.
Yeah, when I do so, I had some money. I counted $112,000 that I had in the safe. And I put it back, I close it, and I leave it in the little parlor where I custom leaving it. And I decide to go down to point 14. I stop a car, and I decide to go down the road. Girl, when I do so, I reach in, I see she and the lawyer shushu in a corner. I stand up. Normally you sit down outside the court, you hear a name called by the door, you go inside to see the magistrate. Whilst I was in the court, I see a cousin of mine, you know, I hail him out. And I sit down there by myself, and I just quoting some psalms. Meditating. I hear my name call, I hear she name call. And before, normally I just let her go inside. The lawyer stopped she from going inside. He say, wait, let him go in first. I hear him whisper that. Let him go in first. And there is somebody that was there too. I ain't gonna call them who witnessed that. Let him go in first. And I went in first. And the magistrate went down a series of questioning. Mr. Man, da, 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 da. She started hostile. All of a sudden,
No, but I would like to go into a little in depth as to what the magistrate would have said to give the public a little. No, you have to go into the whole nitty-gritty, but give me a little insight as to what Madam Magistrate would have said to you.
the magistrate say, I hear you taping people. Who gave you the permission to tape? I say, I never tape nobody. She said, you sure? I said, that is what I would have now told you, ma'am. I never taped nobody. She said, yeah, what's going on? We have to send you for a checkup, you know. I do my shoulder this. I say, where all this thing coming from? And she tell me here what's going on. I remanded you into custody. I say, for what? What did I do? She told me you was going to find out. Now, before I could have said anything else, I was hearing doop, 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 doop. When I turn around, about 15 police come from downstairs, the Point 14 court, up the step. And they surround me, guns in hand. They say, sir, I turn around and I watch them. Could you follow me, please? I said, no problem.
Wow.
I said, no problem. I put on my hand, the circle me. They didn't touch me, the circle me. And they lead me down the step in the court.
Okay.
And the permit a cell. And they say, you are under arrest. I say, what did I do? They say, you're under arrest. I say, what really going on here? But I say, why do? They say, what's going on? They see in the back, so I fed up at you, you know. They take off all my clothes, Candice. All. The order me to take off all my clothes. All my clothes. All. I was in my socks alone. I take off everything. I was in my socks and my boxers, hoping that, you know, the thing, they tell me take off that too. Take off my boxers. I was in my socks alone.
So wait. Hold on. So they didn't just arrest you, they humiliate you.
But yeah, I'm telling you. They tell me take off my clothes.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we have over 216 people on the live on YouTube, only listening to what Mr. Workers right had to say about the ordeal he went through on that particular day. In what court it was? San Fernando court?
Point 14.
Point 14 court. You understand? Now this man went to court for maintenance, you know, to seek visitation, because he said he would have filed for full custody, but he would have settled for, you know, the normal thing. Let me share the chat. We're talking in Trinidad, and we kind of layman. In other words, he just want to be able to be a part of the child life, and then this would have taken place. Carry on, Mr. Renision.
Girl, I started cry one time. I said, boy, where I am, boy? What really going on here? So I started beg them for a call. They say, what's going on? We really want to hear you right now. You going in that cell. Wow. So they tell me, put back on my jockey shorts. They take out my belt. They tell me I can put back on my shoes. They take out the lace. And the suit, they tell me how much money you have in the suit. So I had a $500 inside the jacket. You know, underneath all them type of how they behave, my mind was in such a disarray. So I had some money in my pocket, so I checked the money, forgetting the money in the jacket. The $500 I had in the jacket, forgetting that money there. I'm going to be at one something in my pocket. Or two something, I can't remember the exact figure. They say you going in and sell, no phone call for you. I say, boy, we really going on here, boy. I gonna really go down that road, boy. I say, nobody ain't gonna know which part I think. So, my phone, everything was ready. So I end up seeing one of the officers and them who I went to school with Friday. I said, boy, I get locked up. I want to call my mother and somebody and tell them something. I said, nobody know I lock up here. And I don't know what I lock up for. So here we turn
So
around
let me
saying,
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Did the magistrate tell you what you lock up for?
no, she say lock up.
So did she tell, at that time, all right, you was aware that you lock up for something, you don't know what you did. But did they tell you where they were sending you if you're going down Golden Grove? You didn't know, you know it was just locked up.
No, I didn't know.
Alright,
They didn't tell me anything. They didn't say anything to me. So when I would have get on so in front of my friend, he tell them here what going on. He say you have money on your phone. I say you have free calls. Yeah, now go ahead and make the call on your phone. Now with all of that, whilst I'm dialing to make the call on my phone, Candice, first them officers and them wicked and nasty with themselves. Whilst I'm making the call, they put the handcuff on my hand like this.
So you was getting problems to dial the number.
Boy, and I had the phone like this and my hand like this in the call. So I called my mother, put it on speaker. I tell she I had to come. I lock up. I don't know where I lock up for. Come down to the station. So. I know what take place. She really did come.
Oh Lord.
She really did come. She collect the jacket. However, the jacket had no money in it. They done thief that money already. They tell you how nasty and stink the .14 police is. The thief the $500 in the jacket. Because when I come out, I asked, I said, Mommy, you get any money? No. And I did forget to tell them that money there, boy. We buy rum or something with that money. They tell you how nasty some of the police officers in the .14 court. They take that. One set of friggin' pipers. Piper police inside there. But anyway, they say going into that cell, they can this. I peeping so inside the cell. Candice, that cell smelling stink as shit.
Jesus.
That cell smelling stink as shit and pee. When they open the gate and they put me inside a day, Candice, the wall was full of shit.
Hey.
The bunk was full of shit.
Ooh, Jesus Christ. Hey.
When they open, let me tell you how sad it is. Imagine this. Where I took call my mother was 2 feet away from the cell. They put me in a handcuff like this. When I go in the cell, they tell me push my hand through the gate and they take off the handcuff. You tell me them really need to put on a handcuff? But anyway, that'll tell you how dread it is. They wanted to make me feel uncomfortable. When I look around and I see how much shit inside of there and the place smelling of shit. I see a man inside of there, but I don't know, but he sit down in a corner and all the clothes was off. And I stand up by the gate, I studying. What I doing here, boy? What I do to come here?
My God.
And I stand up there, Candice. And I decide, boy, I can't sit down here. The place full of shit. It's smelling of shit. The man smelling stinky naked in a corner. And he like this. Anything I say, boy, what are you? I frightened, but yet still I cautious and I watching and I hook up on the gate so. And when I cannot take it no more, I start a stoop dog. Boy, Candice, I watch this shit so I watch it on the wall and my legs weak. And it reached a point that I say, boy, to hell with that, I make up my mind to sit down on it.
Hey!
I could not stand up again. No, I'm telling you, it reached that I could not stand up again. I make up my mind and say, boy, I can't stand up. My legs shaking. I sit down and how much I could do. Boy, I sit down. I cry. I talk to myself. The man asking me once that question on the side there. He say, you tell him the share anything. I say, no, me say nothing. He say, all of you here guilty. Innocent. He say, all of you here innocent. Yeah, not them lock me up for some drugs thing. He say some prison I that day that did not blasting with shit. Boy, I as it in the story, I sit down there. I do so, they say going up the road. At that time my spirit does get weak. I was just quiet. I wasn't saying anything again. I was just let me get over with it now. I become compliant. They come, they put a handcuff on my hand, they put a handcuff on my foot, they put one on my waist, and then they take
Wait, let me stop there. So they would have you in chains and shackles because
yes.
The one for wrong your waist, that going down to your ankle, that tight, that bound with your hand, that is not for murdered victims. That's not for people who commit devious crimes.
Well, well, I suspect so. Well, I saying, well, you know, that was normal procedure. And if you watch my hand, look at my hand. My hand has a big bone. So the handcuffs on them, from the time they put it on the first or second click, it squeezing my hand. So when I come out of for a while I wasn't feeling my hand while when I reached the detention center. But anyway, I go reach to that.
Okay, headache, yes, Alex, you do.
I had a handcuff on my hand. And I had a handcuff on my foot, I had one on my waist, and the one on my waist, it was connected to the ones on my foot. And it was also connected to the ones on my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, son, to keep me in a certain way. And when they put me on the van, they had some chains inside the van too. Where they chain me to the van. Don't get tired, the chain we together in the van. It had 2 seats, and we were saying down. It had I think about 4 prisoners that went up the road one time. No, I alone went on that one, boy. I alone went up, girl. They put me alone, and they chained me to the van. And they say, boy, why is that going up the road? The driver telling me we're going to St. Anne's. I said, why going to St. Anne's for? They say the magistrate say you need to get a checkup. I said,
wait, but stick up in right there. Stick up in right. First to begin, I went to court already because I had a brother on drugs, and he was on drugs. And he would have been doing all kind of petty crime, like little thief, break and enter and whatever. And he had a file tick suit. So every time the magistrate sentenced him to sentence, he would have to go to the hospital for the psychiatric doctor to come there and do a proper evaluation on him again. If he go there 99 times, that doctor from St. Anne's, they will have one in Sandy Grande, they will call and he will come and evaluate him. For the time he see, he's a seasoned madman, but he must make sure he put a signature to whatever document it is before they take him from Grande Hospital to St. Anne's. Right? So, you know, that part day, so they didn't take it to any hospital at all?
No. I went to no hospital, none. None. What they do, they came straight up there.
I know of when people get sentenced, the magistrate say, well, you, Brandon Timothy, you are sentenced to remand yard, so, for 10 months, 3 years, 6 months. They didn't tell you where it was going.
No, they didn't tell me anything.
It's on your way going to wherever you're going, you were made to understand that you are going straight to sentence.
Yes.
And my question is this, Trinidad and Tobago. How many people would have gone through this kind of situation and let it slide? How many people, whether a man or woman, would have undergone this kind of treatment, Trinidad and Tobago, and didn't have a voice? They take their lock up, they take their advantage and say nothing and leave it, let it slide. I wonder. But go ahead, Mr. Jeffrey.
Don't wonder now, because while I was inside there, you know, when I would have told my story, plenty people would have come out and actually talk about this magistrate. And plenty of them, I know of instances where people, they send them for psychiatric evaluation. There wasn't man and they come out mad. But anyway, when I reach up, when they put me on the vehicle and I reach up there inside St. Anne's, the ward me, and they put me in, they evaluate me, they start to talk to me, the doctors talk to me, they admit me because I reach up there in the night. And in the morning, when I see the doctors, I say, boy, I keep on asking them with the thing. One out of the person say, boy, you looking like if anything wrong with, because they ask me if I have a medical history, as they say you looking like if anything wrong with you, you know. But here what I could do for you as a good gesture. The send you here, you have to come because the court send you here. What I will do.
Yeah, but the thing is this, even if the court send you there, the court, there's a system. I believe that is how it is. They must send it to the hospital because I tell you, I have a brother, he's deceased now. And whenever he go before the Sandy Grande magistrate court for whatever crime he would have committed, they would send him straight to the hospital, get a psychiatric evaluation, and then proceed to sentence because they know he was a seasoned madman.
Well, Candace, I had no history of madness. They realized that from when I explained it to them. And here the man to the run tell me as a sign of good gesture. He said we go sort this thing out, but here what going on, we go put here, right here, because our makeup is a big dome, but it have a kind of glass thing, a kind of glass finish with burglar proof where they could see the doctor seeing everybody. So here we tell me, he say, boy, I go put you in front here where we go be able to see you now. But he say, boy, he said, they don't send you here already, we go think, it's not my authority to say anything, but we have to follow orders. But if I'm mad, you're going in a ward where it's mad people, you're not looking like if you're mad. He say, if they frighten you, they go stare at you, they go watch you, they go stare over here, they go say all kind of thing. He said they go smell bad. He said, but do one thing for me, brother. He said, don't lash them, please now. He said there is human being. He said don't lash them. You're like frightened. And what the man I say here? Candace, here I'm telling you. I tell the man about my experience with the thing. He give me a piece of cloth. I take off my pants. We send me in the room, I take off my pants. But you don't talk about that toilet inside. When they send me and they admit me and they put me on a bed. I tell him about my situation. He show me where the toilet is. Girl, when I see that toilet inside that friggin' day, shit all on the ground. Like it had two toilets. It had two toilets like it was like a kind of rubbish bin. Rubbish inside that day. Like it had one using. Candace, I take off my pants and I stoop down on the toilet with my shoes. First that toilet nasty. I tutu in the toilet and I take the cloth where you give me But I wipe up my pants while I sit down in the mess in the station. And I keep on my pants. I take the pants and I keep it on. The put on a bed. And I stay with that pants and that jersey, that white shirt. For the duration of the time that I was inside that day. You know what I'm telling you? I had no change of clothes, no boxers, nothing. I didn't have nothing to wear. I stay with that. I used to take a little sponge off. I used to bathe naked because it had nothing. I bathe in, they gave me a little piece of blue soap so that they cut, and I bathe in outside. But the first night inside a day, boy, I didn't sleep. And when I do drop asleep, I wake up with a man watching me. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to react. I don't know why I'm here. I check in the days. I say, oh God, when I could come out of here, they say 14 days.
So you spent 14 days in there, Mr. Jeffrey?
No. I end up spending 4 days, 3 days. I'm matter of fact inside it. I spent a whole day in the station, and then I spend the rest of the days inside St. Anne's. Candace, that experience day was, I can't still talk about it. It was bad. Yeah, I talk with some of them inside that day. I talk with plenty of them inside that day.
So let me ask you a question. So when the doctors and them run the check on you, right? Because you're waiting there for 14 weeks, right? And so happened you end up spending 4 days. What would let them to release you out before that time? Because they say 14 days, they didn't send you there for, and you only spend like 3 days. So what did they run tests on you?
No, well, they had evaluation before they didn't run no tests. I suspect that would have been the second thing. There was 2 sets of evaluation that they would have done on me. A team of 20-something doctors. And they had me inside a day in a forum asking me questions, the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then they rest me for a little while. And the next day, they asked me one set of thing over and over and over and over and over and over. And then the shift doctors and all come in and question me over and over and over. But it's the same story. I'm going to be telling a story about 100 times inside a day. Over and over and over and over. And then with the team that I have, like there was teaching students, so them students and them asking me one set of thing over and over and over and over about this, about that. If I had any straight mad this, if I had any family mad, and but over and over and over and over. If I had suicidal tendency, if I was in the court and I had feel to hit the magistrate, but I say, yeah, what's going on? So I say, or you apply for the court recordings and or you see for yourself now. I fed up answer the same thing. I say I never tell this woman nothing inside of there. This woman just tell me that you're arrested and some kind of thing you're remanded into custody or something like that, some kind of pretty word. And with that police come and say wrong man carry me downstairs. But Jill, the same thing I don't know, as the talking to me and I crying because I don't know why I here. Why I put my here? It was this, I keep on explaining the story. Girl, the experience inside that day in a nutshell, it wasn't good. Madman, imagine you in a place with about 50 something or 40 something mad people. Mad people. Telling you all kind of thing, the place smelling stink. Telling you all kind of thing, imagine that. And it's like if it have a upstairs and a downstairs, so the upstairs is the woman, the downstairs is me and them. And I inside here. But at that time I lean up on a man bed inside there. The man walk up to me, straight up in my face. and he tell me move from here. And he big and he strong. I just watch him and I just move. Because it looked like he might have lashed me.
All right, so who must have the figure, man? Because I know how inside it is. Because from time to time, I would go and visit my brother in St. Anne's, and the place is not really pleasant. The smell is not really pleasant at all. So I kind of have a slight idea, not a 50-50, but I would say a 25-75. Understanding of what you would have been through. But what I'm trying to ask is, after coming out of it, let me hear a little bit of the experience. After you come, remember people know you went St. Anne's. So how that affect your livelihood?
Now, Candice, I ain't gonna lie, when I come out of there, the job that I had, I mean, just to bypass that, when I come out of there, Candice, it's as if I fall flat on my face. The job that I had, I was fired from the job. And I was systematically fired from it, because I was in the capacity of a supervisor on the work. And it started second guess, because during that period, that time they asked me where I was, I said I get locked up. And I didn't tell them where it was for, because I was feeling shame, obviously. Because I ended up telling our partner on the work. I tell our partner on the work. Yeah, it come out. So it started with, I started hearing whispers, he's a madman. I started seeing that the person that I was working around, he started second guess everything I say. And I have to make sure. And then they put somebody to work with me. And then they move me from working in the main yard and tell me they had some outpost outside now, so they started putting me outside it. And I asked them, yeah, go ahead.
More or less, they started to face discrimination on them.
Yeah.
Of the stigma.
Yeah. And then playing out the boss come and ask me. He said, boy, I don't feel we are work for you again. I said, what is the reason? The man started cuss me, boy. He said, boy, me want to friend man around me, boy.
Wow.
So I didn't bother to go back to work, because he said, boy, he feeling not work for me again. At the time I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know nothing about trade unionism and all them type of thing. And when I would have get to tell my story to somebody that involved in the trade union movement, that would have regretted me telling me, the time passed for that. So I come and I lost that job, and all the jobs and things, everybody know the library industry is. You could get call on shutdown and them type of thing. And I go end up doing interviews, going and starting shutdown, and I hear people saying it on the shutdown. And it reached a point, yes, I was at the start of work, but after a while, people started say, boy, people started distance themselves from around me. Villagers and all started distance themselves, because, it's normally at the time I was normally a natural quiet guy. I never used to engage in certain things. Yes, I used to engage in certain things, but at a certain level. You understand? Mm-hmm. And around that time, when I used to cut grass for people and them kind of thing, I realized, people started stop request my service and them type of thing. So
Quick up in. So then that ordeal would have happened, what would have taken place with you? That affected you all wrong?
yeah,
Mentally,
yeah,
financially,
yeah,
physically,
yeah,
spiritually,
yeah,
emotionally,
yeah, yeah.
and that
Because-
only happened all because you wanted visitation, just to be able to have access to a son that you helped bring into the world. Well, I've been honest with you, Mr. Jeffrey, that was enough to break anybody, Even if you wasn't mad, that was enough to actually send you mad when you come out of it. Because having to you was done humiliated, degraded, stripped down to nothing because somebody said that they stripped you next to nothing, it was in your birthday suit, just your socks on. And they ushered you off into sentence, and then when you come out, it was met with all these kind of unfortunate situations where they even started to call you a madman, so they stigmatize you as a madman.
Candace, the win on this matter today, that was that Monday. That is 6 years after. 6 years after and change. Now,
Somebody say my audio is a little too loud or something. Thank you, Miss Jones. Tell me if the audio is good.
right, tell me.
Is the audio good, Miss Jones? Tell me somebody would have said about the audio. Let me know if you all hear me enough. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Ricardo. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Girl, when I come out of there, you're with us started, Candace. And I could, at that time that I was able to map this whole thing. You go on a walk, you see people shoo in a corner. You start off, people start to talk here, and then you start to hear people saying, asking you, you was ever?
Right, so Mr. Xavier was here and she's waiting to come. But go ahead.
He asking, were you ever in the yeah, all you had to do is join the link that I post out there.
All right, Xavier and Chatter, if you all are here, just join the link and it's easy to come. Just join it. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah. It is a look, and then a stare, and then a questioning, and then a second guessing, and then all of a sudden, they're telling me, well, I didn't feel it I work here for you, because I don't feel that the company could able to facilitate you here and them kind of thing. So Candace,
how did that make you feel, Mr. Jeffrey?
Candace, oh God, girl. It destroyed me. That is what I did to me. Hey, look at tell you about the safe and all. When I used to lend little money and think that whole safe go on, somebody thief that whole safe. I actually have a police whilst I was incarcerated, somebody would have take the whole safe and go it with the $112,000, and I ain't gonna lie, it pushed me to rock bottom. Not too long after I come and I lost my job, trying to get jobs and thing from outside, and it wasn't happening. It wasn't taking place. It was very hard. So
and all that time you had maintenance to pay.
All that time I had maintenance to pay. At that time, for a whole year I didn't pay because for a whole year I didn't work. For a whole year I didn't work. I mean, and coming on and getting that major loss there from that $112,000 where somebody would have stolen. It was as if but I lost all my savings. So I need at the time was to get work. What happened is that my father did end up fixing up the place. Well, look at that. My sister was living home at the time. My father, it had 3 rooms in the house. My father used to live in the back room, started staying in the back room. My sister used to stay in the front room. And you know, sometimes she used to stay in the middle room. And I didn't say anything, but I feel bad, Yeah, I saw the little parlor thing, he ended up fixing up that, and he said, boy, better you stay there. He didn't give me no explanation. He just said, better you stay there.
So it's more or less it was feeling discriminated all wrong because, wow. In a nutshell, Mr. Jeffrey, you went through a lot, right? So all of that would have happened right after the steel went up in you.
Yeah.
Right? Then you end up in sentence. Then you come out looking for jobs. You was unemployed, and at the same time you had to pay a maintenance of $200 per week. So while you're looking for a job, the maintenance billing up, right? And every time you're trying to make yourself a man to rise above the water is problem. So all that sort of separation. So tell me about your quest in trying to fight this case in a nutshell.
Girl,
No, we have the time. Today is Saturday.
Girl, watch me. That it had one man from him point. That man that I call Voodoo. That man hunt me like a dog. But anyway, before that had to take place, I started go around and ask and tell people about this matter now. Girl, I ain't gonna lie to tell you. I just didn't want to call some of these lawyers. Some of these lawyers and them in Trinidad and Tobago, the nasty and the stink, the dirty. Because the little scraping of money that I have, I went wrong by several lawyers in this country. And I pay down to the last penny for them to evaluate the matter, for them to bring up the thing with the case, and watch me to take my money, and plenty of them recuse themselves from the matter. They say now they want to take that matter again. On the brink, I filing, they started tell me that. They didn't answer me, they didn't call me, they didn't think me. Remember, it's a magistrate. That they say that after, and them kind of thing, afterwards, hey, them lawyers and them started recuse themselves, and they say, nah, they didn't want the thing. And one of them ended up giving my explanation because I sent my now deceased sister to find out because she did know that lawyer real good. And the lawyer said because of some kind of closeness she and the magistrate have, she don't want to do the matter. It could be some kind of thing, that conflict of interest. So she didn't take on the matter, but she take my money.
Oh.
And plenty of them top ranking lawyers, plenty of them here in the name in the news, take my money and never do nothing with the matter. Never talk about it, never tell me anything about it. And at the time I didn't know what was taking place. I went wrong by plenty news media throughout Trinidad and Tobago for them to talk about the story. I went to the Single Father Association. I went all over Trinidad. And nobody cares about what I was saying. None. Nobody. None. I went to plenty of them major news stations and them. And none of them took the story. There was a day I was walking through Point Candice. My head down. I say, boy, I pray into her. I say, boy, something wrong with me or some kind of thing. How come this thing taking place? My 112,000 outside by about 50,000 by trying to get lawyers sitting outside. I say, boy, I go there. I say better I take losses. And I walking up and I see Dindiala. Everybody know Dindiala on the Venture Road, who from Point. When I see Dindiala and I see boy, I say boy, this is my last hope, yes. I see the man and I say boy, I know have a matter. I say how much you go take to hear him out, boy? He said sit down there and talk to me. And I talk to him and he
Excuse me, sorry. Accept the request now. Xavier here. You didn't accept it?
no, he ain't come up, I didn't see him.
Xavier. This I. Mr. Gucci, Latin night, Mr. Gucci. Jeffrey, they say I had to wait for you to let me in. So send back the request and then let him in. Remember, this is a new system Mr. Jeffrey had, so it's kind of... Boy, Jeffrey, you telling me all of this thing here and my head out to me is boy, me like, I swear, boy, I might have dead, yes, Jesus Christ.
I send it for him to jump in. I send the request to Xavier.
Privately, in his thing or in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Mr. X.
Hi, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah.
Mr. X, were you listening to Mr. Jeffrey?
Yes, I listened to Jeffrey quite attentively. So,
Do you?
Jeffrey, with all of this, what I want to ask Jeffrey, there's this perception that the law is for the woman. How much do you say that statement has bargain or validity in it?
I believe that I will get 80%. 80% of the time the woman always get a full hearing in the court. It's not 50-50. And you know, I probably could carry up the number a little more because, yeah, I mean, if you've been through the system and you hear plenty of men saying as well, court is to the woman most of the times.
So, someone who's been through your situation, who feel like, there's no hope, this is the last hope, what advice would you give somebody who's in your situation right now, or who was in your situation right now, sorry?
Well, what I could tell them is that don't give up, because at the end of the day, but it wasn't easy. I used a lot of mental exercises was to get through this. You know, I could briefly tell you, somebody would have introduced me to Stoicism. I would have read The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. I would have read a book from the name it is the author of the book was Bartas. He would have
Jeffrey just said that both Xavier and I are echoing.
okay.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Yeah, so I would have read a lot of books concerning this whole situation, and that would have helped me get over this whole thing now. But it was a very difficult situation. Very, very difficult. And the best I can tell people is to hold on to God. Hold on to God.
You know, one of the things, Jeffrey, that stuck out to me while, because this is a story that was plastered all over Trinidad and Tobago. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is while he was in court, the magistrate would have said that that this is a case that was sentence suitable. I don't want to derail how it was quoted or whatever like that. But not understanding that there's something called emotional stress. What do you have to say about that, Jeffrey? With this magistrate not understanding emotional stress, is it like a case of negligence on her side, or is it you think that there was some ulterior motive?
I thought, one, that there was, yes, a former ulterior motive, but I don't believe that the magistrate don't understand stress. that people does be stressful when they come to court, a matter of fact. I believe that there was an ulterior motive linked to what is taking place, because how she would have deduced that I needed to go sentence according to she, because when she's called upon to defend herself, she said I was clenching my hand and my forehead. I mean, that was so broad, so everybody that is clenching their hands and their forehead deserve to go to sentence or deserve to be called a madman. How about this? I mean, the context so broad. A madman, there's madmen that have 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 foot, and all the 10 fingers. So what are you telling me then? If I have 2 eyes, 2 foot, 2 hands, and all my 10 fingers, I should be sentenced a sentence? The explanation was too broad, it wasn't specific. So she used, but I sit down and I reason this whole thing, and she used this thing and misuse it at the same time. And I believe that it had an agenda.
Yeah. I know to the end of it, Jeffrey, there will be compensation, and whatever the compensation may be, whatever the compensation will be, I say kudos to you on receiving that, but you ever think any amount of compensation could ever erase that pain that you would have suffered during this time?
No, I don't think any amount of compensation could do that, because it's not only that, and I am still going through this process still. Now, with this child, I totally, because of this whole situation here, and because of the justice system not doing what they ought to do, I have lost connection with my child. For over 6 years, I ain't seen my child. Over 6 years now, I haven't had contact with them. And it's all because of this improper use or this improper way of they applying the law in this matter. It destroy any relationship that I have. And it's still a fight. So, to say it in the least, no amount of compensation. It could be 10 million, it could be 30 million, it could be 15 million, it could be wherever it may be. It have no compensation in the world that could bring back that, because the experience. Look, the other day when I had asked me to come up and think, I feel so overwhelmed, because when I watch back, remember, it was in a long spans where it was this was done in about 6 years time. That news report, and I just show you how damaging some of these news reports does end up being. I would have experienced this whole situation in one day. After the report, after I win, I feel like, well, they would have delivered the report to me. I experienced this whole thing over in one day. And when I say I literally lose everything, that ain't not an understatement. I lose credibility, because when I went up for election, people call him a madman to the same way. I lose credibility with people. I lose confidence in with certain people lose confidence in me. It would have severed relationships, and I'm talking about just relationships with my son, and personal, intimate relationships, where it is because of this whole matter. I wasn't able to do things as a man going along, and then I have to struggle now with the depression that this thing bring upon me, to be able to cope still, and I have to work, and I have to eat, and I have to, it bad.
And what you have to say now, Jeffrey, there was social media influencer, quote unquote, who would have come out and make some, damaging, allegations against you with this matter is concerned. What you have to say to these detractors right now?
God have a way in bringing things to the light, and these people and them who just running with stories and to try to use this story to discredit what others be doing on social media, because this thing start off because this workers' rights platform started on the basis and nobody wasn't hearing anything that I was saying, you know. So I start off with a phone screaming in a room like a madman, and you know, and highlighting issues passionately, hoping that you know, if I continue to be relevant and talking about it, someday it will reach a point that you know I will get this breakthrough. But you know, at that time that I doubted too. But these detractors and them was in such a haste to rebut what I would have said and use a ad hominem attack, not to attack what I'm saying, but to attack me personally by going and revamping all of this to make them look good or to bring some type of credibility to themselves. What I am saying to them is you, and you know who he is. Don't take stories from people and fling it out in the open just like that without even self-analyzing and trying to understand why. Because there's a reason why. Let me show you something. You see this hand that I have here? I have 50, I have 10% movement in this hand. It doesn't look so. Because every time I just try to make it look in a particular way, I actually can't bend it. I can't bend my wrist. And that is from a remote action from this case. It didn't cause it, but it's a reaction, because when I can't find job in my area, I was forced to go outside and look for work. Like places like Point Lisa's and these type of thing, and I would have ended up in a terrible accident. You understand? So the detractors and them that decide to speak on certain issues, I don't have a problem with a man rebutting what I say, but this man would have hit me below the belt. And that was a dishonest move. You see that ad hominem attack where he attacked me personally and not what I say? That is one of the most nastiest play that any social media influencer could do to any individual, because we talk about issues.
Let me just butt in here. When that gentleman came out with that piece of information, where you think he would have gotten that information from? Is it that he tell us if he had a police partner? Because I mean to say, look how long that incident would have happened, and it had to be somebody close to you.
The information was so sensitive that there were only certain information that could be known by my child mother. And I ain't calling she's not my child mother, she's Joshua child. Like Joshua mother.
Alright.
Yeah, son? It had no police partner would have really known about this incident with me where iron would have come through my belly and them kind of thing. Close to my bottom, and people say it come out through my bottom, but it was close. And he was precise on what he would have said. So if it's not she, it had to be a family member of hers.
Alright.
And
with that, Mr. Jeffrey, I was here and talk through the grapevine. Do you intend to take legal action, defamation of character, whatever, pertaining toward these individuals who have made these damaging, assassination on your character?
I want the gentleman to say is that he's sorry. And if yeah. Sometimes I mean sometimes you have to be merciful. And if it takes that I have to write him a pre-action protocol letter for him to force him to do the correct thing, then so be it.
Alright.
You understand? But this I mean, come on. It wasn't easy. This is not our deal that was easy. And he for himself, that same gentleman, if he go through this, why go through it might kill him. You understand what I'm saying? this might have killed him, because you could survive being deserted by 1 or 2 persons. Some people could survive going to prison, but you can't survive all of these family abandonment, spousal abandonment, child you're not seeing, you have to pay maintenance, and you're still not seeing the child, and the both you went to jail, and then you end up in an accident. But he could go through something like that. Boy.
Yeah, but Mr. Jeffrey, you was talking about when you met the lawyer, because I see somebody in the comment section. Give us a little brief insight as to when he was walking the road and he said this is the last chance, and he bounce up Mr. Budu, or whoever is named the lawyer.
I bounce up Mr. Budu. Budu in that point 14 court. He's the one police. And that man not like a dog. He's a little clown.
You're talking about the lawyer.
Yeah, the lawyer.
What's his name?
The lawyer name is Dindial. Dindial would have put me in a corner. He put me in a corner and he sit down. He talked to me and he said, boy, you know I go take this matter. Boy, I was so shocked, eh? I could have hugged the man and kiss him. I say how much I have to pay him now. You don't study about that now. I go work. Don't worry yourself. And they would have referred me to Ted. Ted Rupnarayan from San Fernando, the lawyer, and we had me and he had a conversation, and he would have taken the matter. And just what I was saying, it wasn't without hurdles, because the first time, let me tell you something. You know, when it went to court and I see the first judge, the throw the matter, they give the magistrate correct on the first instance. On the first instance, they give the magistrate correct. So I thought, well, nothing will never come out of this. But again, as I say, I was persistent, and God was there. Yeah, Xavier.
I know you say you haven't seen your son for 6 years. Since after this judgment came out, was you able to interact with your son? What is the relationship with you and your son? And what also is the relationship with you and Joshua's mom?
No interaction at all. None whatsoever. No calls, nothing. Actually, the lawyer was to set up the access, and he's supposed to send me a link and all them type of thing, and he not engaged in that at all. Right now, I have a recording from the same lawyer. The same lawyer from where he tell me in the court, and trust what I'm saying. That lawyer, he not easy, you know. But anyway, I go leave that alone for now. That's some evidence that I have that I may have to take that lawyer. I might have to sue that lawyer. I might have to sue that lawyer too.
So, Mr. Jeffrey, let me ask you a little question here. If you happen to, let me say, gain access to your son, wow, how would that make you feel after having seen him in 6 years?
I honestly don't know how I go feel, because I saw he aunt the other day, and he aunt would have seen nothing better than to tell me, oh, you must mind your child. I said, Miss Lady, I said, this is a court matter. I said, you don't know what you're saying. You feel any 250 in the court could do anything, you must take. I say, Miss Lady, let me tell you something. I say, before you do the honorable thing and tell your niece or your cousin or whoever she is, your aunt, before you tell she abide with the court order, you're not engaging in that at all. You coming to tell me this at this point in time? I said, nah, man. I say I want to be disrespectful to you, but I can't hear you out with that is concerned.
So what you say, Mr. Jeffrey, you haven't see after this, you haven't seen your son in 6 years time. That's you're saying you haven't seen your son, Mr. Jeffrey, in 6 years, and even after this judgment, you still not in a you haven't still seen your son.
No, not up until today, no.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, Candace, this in is when they break down everything, Candace, this is a man, an individual, you know, who has demonstrated strength. Because I don't think, Candace, I really and truly don't think I could have done it, to be quite honest.
Boy,
I don't think I could have done it, Candace. The mental stress, the emotional stress on this matter, Candace.
boy, I mean, I'm Mr. Jeffrey, you're strong, boy. I swear. Because I don't know, if I was in your position, I don't know how I would have been able to deal with that. Because you went through hell. You would have gone through hell, Mr. Jeffrey. I swear, I'm not just saying that because, you know, thinking, but now, I tell you, I don't have a headache. To know one person would have gone through all of that just to have access to his son. Well, if he didn't know better, he'd just leave she with the child and just disappear. And when the child reached 18, like some men, you jump back out on the scene. But in your case, you wanted to be a part of your son's life. It has a man that's breed woman, make countless strength and turn their back and walk away and never look back. And you, as a father, just want to be a part of your son's life, and you was denied that right. I hope this magistrate seeing and hearing this, boy. This is, according to this person, this is hell on earth. Mr. Jeffrey, boy, I ain't lying, but I just want to tell you, sorry. I'm so sorry that this would have happened. I am so sorry that the justice system failed you terribly. And I had said, thank God, God kept you, because that was enough to break you. Even it was, you know, that you wasn't a madman then, but when you came out of there, that all them trauma that you would have been through, Mr. Jeffrey, was enough to turn you into a steering madman. But God kept you. And you ought to change your life. You ought to say, thank God for the man Christ Jesus. I swear. You ought to say, thank God for Jesus, boy, because I am telling you, not everybody could handle that kind of pain. Not everybody could go through that kind of ordeal, boy. Jeffrey, boy, I'm lying, but brother, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through that. And I pray that one day you will be reunited with your son.
And I wish, I ain't gonna lie, there's a certain, I wish that magistrate rose in the hottest part of hell for doing that. Because what I see, what people see in as a conspiracy theory, I experience it, I see it. As if everything was lined up for this to happen. I complain, and this magistrate shut me down time and time again. The one man in point, Buru, I wish you and all rose in the hottest part of hell. Because some of the people that you're going after, they're innocent, and you know what's taking place behind the scene. I hope you rose in the hottest part of hell too. You see, no, Candace, I have to talk so. And one more thing I want to say too. There are people outside it, women especially, and I'm speaking about this here. You see, in a man's weakness, in his weakest moment, there are people that can't see beyond the fog. And in their weakest moment, they come, they're in your life all the time, and then they come and they abandon you because you know you end up in some form of difficulties. And they see the grass greener on the other side. because they don't understand the struggle. Because some of the times we as men shield we spouse from that. You ain't go talk to them every night about something. Man is a problem. We is problem solvers. You see, in the midst of all of this, I talk about spouse. And I learn something going along the way too. Not everybody that you lie down and you sleep with when the night come is for you at the end of the day. Because when the storm comes, just like the big bad wolf, when the wolf come and he blow it down, you realize you build your house out of straw and sticks. And it had no foundation in some of them relationship. The minute that trouble come, that is the ending of it. And let me tell you something as a man, because this is what I want to deliver here to you. If I ain't hear anything else, some of you outside there is good men, and are in relationship with women. And at the end of the day, the woman is going to try to blame you for everything when they done make the move on your head already. And that is something plenty women does do. I'm not saying all. They blame you for everything. You didn't tell that woman go and sleep with her next man. You didn't tell that woman that. But they blame you for things like that. Don't ever take that on yourself. You know why? Because in all relationship, you not perfect, she not perfect. And that is what our relationship is about. Whatever differences or you have or misunderstand is either or you could work and fix it, or you bring it to the relationship and or you talk about it and or you work it out. Because or you in this thing together. And if it didn't work out, then my friend, walk away. Don't let she blame you and take that responsibility because it wasn't your fault. You walk away, tell she thanks, tell she yes, sorry, I was not a good boyfriend. And they say have a good day, or have a good evening, or wherever it is, and walk away.
Yeah, but my thing is this, Mr. Jeffrey, and I keep saying it, right? If you and the mother in separation, right? Ole was supposed to be able to cook parent for the child's sake. And she clearly showed that she wasn't willing to co-parent. She went the most devious way because, as you said, although I'd like to hear her side of the story, because there's two sides to a story. But I listened to what you would have said. And, and I have no memory. You would have said it over and over and time again in the life here. Right? You was taking care of the child. But, you were still paying the bills. You were still providing food for the child and the mother. It's because of certain circumstances you would have left the home and go by your mother just to get a peace of mind, right? And then when you went to the court just to seek not actual, we say, oh, is the word I'm looking for, custody, but just to get a little visitation where the court would have granted you 3 days and she'd get 4 days, and that too, she fight down that. That too, she fight down that. So that literally showed that woman wasn't just trying to fight down the child. The woman was fighting down you for whatever reason. So she tried to make your life a living hell. And so far, she was very successful. So I want to know how she had all that power. Is it because she had a relative who was working in the station? Is it that she had a man, the Honor man, when he was in the hospital, the Honor man was, was a police? I don't understand.
I don't want to talk about the other man as yet. It had a person that was present. And I have video footage of it. But I will leave that for next time. I see, I doesn't like to embarrass people. And the next thing, she had an uncle. She still have the uncle. That was assistant commissioner of police. And I will leave that right there. At one point in time. So I know the thing that's linked.
So that could have probably linked up and contributed for that injustice situation that you would have undergone under the justice system. Well, my brother, oh Lord, you give me a headache. Yes, boy, it's too much to tell Jesus. Xavier, boy. Xavier.
Yeah, it's a lot, Candace. It's a lot. It's really and truly a lot.
Xavier, let me ask you a question. Let me just let me just lighten up the air a bit because Jeffrey, I feel for a shutter something. Let me ask you, Xavier, you have children?
No, I don't.
Right. So here what's going on, son. Listen to me carefully. Choose your women wisely. You see, wherever you put your eggs, you put in your eggs, make sure that woman is a woman of God and you and she are on the same page. Do not end up in this situation for my priest brother. And I'm not only giving this piece of advice to you, but to all the young men that is out there. Don't just go around and having sex and breeding woman. Know what all they're doing. You understand? Don't just go wildly and planting your eggs, your seeds in all kind of basket or all kind of because the way how Jeffrey explained this to me, I language. That is the child mother for
They
me.
look like a total witch hunt, Candace. A total witch hunt.
Jesus, son of a David. Mr. Jeffrey, change your life. Live for God. Become a pastor. Start to preach the word of God because I swear, I know of bitter baby mamas, but this one, if what you are saying here is the truth, she take the cake and the scrums and everything that goes with it. But I would like to hear her side of the story because you know it has two sides of the story, Mr. Jeffrey.
Always have two sides of the story. I wish you could hear that part of the story, but I mean, I don't feel the individual have the testicular fortitude as to say anything concerning that. I know I say it. They don't have the testicular fortitude.
Okay. All right, my brother. Well, I know we had you here long enough. 8, 9. Yeah, 2.5 hours. And I know you need a rest. Right? Mr. Jeffrey, sorry. Again, I am on behalf of everybody. We have like 210 people. We had almost 250 people on my end. That's what I was seeing. And they were here for a very long while. They wanted to hear the end of the story. And my closing contribution to you, Mr. Jeffrey, is, oh God, brother, sorry for your holy faith. Stay strong. God is good. Power to the brother. Mr. Xavier, you have anything to say to the brother before we close off? Oh my God.
Well, I think, Mr. Jeffrey, your story, as Candace said, should be a template. You know, sex is just not about meeting somebody, but understanding who you're going to bed with. You understand? Understanding who you're going to bed with, because it could be serious consequences. You understand me? There could be serious consequences later. And too much of times, women on the whole have used children as a form to, emasculate men and degrade them and all type of stuff. Women has done that. So, Mr. Jeffrey, I think you get through this situation. I know you'll still have some remnants of this pain and hurt, but I think the majority of that, belligerent wickedness is over and is about, setting the pace of your life now. Setting the pace of your life going through. And, anybody you want to meet in your life again, is about, taking the necessary steps and understanding who you're getting into. It's a life lesson. It's a permanent life lesson. So I would like to leave you with this word. So we await your closing contribution.
All right, but before we close though, I want to say pleasant good night to Chatter. I don't know if Chatter would have been trying to come on, but Chatter, it is unfortunate that you are not here because I know you had some questions to Mr. Jeffrey, right? But maybe next time you will be able to come up and you will have that conversation with him. So back to you, Mr. Renison. We're not hearing you, Jeffrey.
What I want to say in closing, if I don't say it, I mean, people who still going through this problem, you see that book that I now put up there, The Consolation of Philosophy by Matthias, is something that would have significantly helped me over this whole thing where they talk about the Wheel of Fortune.
You have to drag it more to the screen because I don't think people see it.
Yeah, they seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, The Consolation of Philosophy talk about the Wheel of Fortune. And the thing about it is this, Trinidad and Tobago, throughout all them accidents that would have taken place with me, something was consistent. You see, I get up, I was going to work one day and I suddenly fall into an accident and I lost all my bodily function and I was bedridden. 3 of my ribs broke, my wrist and all was broken. And just like that I lost everything. Well, all my function one day. And all what we like today, just remember tomorrow you could just lose it all. And the same thing happened when I fall on the iron. The same thing happened when I had the blood clots in my hand, and the same thing happened with my son. And we must be able to get up in the morning and practice our exercise. Think about, you know, if I lost everything today, what would happen to me? You have to get up every morning and die to yourself. And that is the only so certain things you could get over certain things in this lifetime. You have to be able to weather the storm before you have to be able to see the storm, anticipate it, and what could happen when the storm taking place. To be able to survive that part right now, boy. It wasn't easy. I was to separate myself emotionally from the child. To be able to survive that loss, boy. To be able to nest that hurt. I know plenty of you are going through this, and many of you may not see the way out, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I passed through this. I see it, and you think about it, there was times that I felt like giving up. And everybody see, as I say, everybody see plenty things in it. This was living inside of me. So when stress come, that come into it. And they know, nobody know. Because it's not a pain that, it's not a cut, or break arm or break foot, that it's physical, but it how to say, it come like my personal incredulity, then my personal cross that I carry in. And many people have personal crosses that plenty people ain't seeing. But at the end of the day, despite the book that I now put up there, the only person that could really see us through these things and them is the Almighty God, the God of our forefathers. Is the only force that could see us through this. People just come with all kind of thing and all kind of thing to explain and wait to know God, but there is a God. And sometimes the pattern that we see in is we can't see it going forward with us. Sometimes we just have to look back. And that will take place with me within the last few days. When I look back and I see, I say, wait, I don't know, you know, how I make it through this. But it's God works. Yeah. And Trinidad and Tobago, if you don't believe in anything else, believe in God. Believe in God. And He will see it through there. And there was a song that the songwriter that says, see me through, Lord Jesus, see me through. See me through. Candace, don't be speechless. Now is not time to be speechless. Now is not time to feel sorrow in your heart. We have a country to deal with from Monday. We have some very important things that come to the forefront that we have to deal with on Monday. And the thing about it, yes, I may be struggling, but I'm down, but I'm not out. The Friday are good people. I Xavier and Candace, Chatter, Trinity, all of them on my side. So I may not be strong by myself, but I have good team members that does make me feel strong. It have Victor, it have Sharon Felix, and when I see the strength of the political leader of the PNM, boy, she like a mother. So I have support. I have support, and I have people that I look to for strength to at the end of the day. I could always call any one of them, they can't listen anybody, hey, what going on? When I'm feeling them, I really want nothing, but you know, I just call in and there's answer. And I guess that is why today I'm not feeling down and out and I'm coming here and crying and taking is because of them. Because of Candace, because of Xavier, because of Chatter, because of Trinity, because of the team, Sharon and Victor, my mother, my brother, my sisters, all of them I could count on. Despite what? My neighbor, you know, family members, I could always have discussion with them based on, how I'm feeling and what I'm going through, and then I'll go to. So this is not a sad story that Oye should believe. This should be a map that Oye could use, you men outside it, that they could use to bring yourself out of the situation that you're in. And that is all I have to say in closing where this is concerned.
Thank you very much, Jefferson. Calling it Jefferson Renaissance for sharing. This is a really brave and commendable, piece of touching information that I think could be received by all on Sunday. And Candace, you said it really nicely. Everybody could learn a piece from this. Everybody could learn a piece from this. But as I said, Jeffrey, I saw a quote 2 years that, 2 years ago that left an indelible mark at me. It said that not all storm comes in your life to mash up and destroy things, but some storm comes to clear the path for better things to forge. And it's a quote that I've always stapled with me when difficult times arrive. So you're not good horizon, man. I think the storm has gone. Yes, they'll have it's still overcast, it's still raining, it's still drizzling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
go ahead.
We will, and you have strong teams. We will be here to ensure that everything will be okay with you, man.
Candace, I see you're caught up. Anything you want to say, because we go down close off.
When I see people in the comment section saying they want to be chiefy. Somebody in the comments say, but Sherilyn Blair say, I wish I could have a name. I want pepper it. And that same person says, Mr. Jeffrey, let me be a little sister to beat her up for you. Hey, they want to buy fight just so no. After sometimes you suddenly people and they fall on their own weight. Mr. Jeffrey, I want to say thanks for allowing us, your team, to interview you, because I believe that this interview should be aired on your platform first before you go anywhere else, because you have been toiling for this. That is what your platform was created for, out of pain and agony, and you hold on to the mantle, you stand firm, you stand strong. And although you was going through your pain and agony, you would have allowed even me and other people to come on your platform and let their voices be heard. And before this was the justice advocate, where we were listening to other people's stories and trying to, help them get solution and help and all of that. And we were victorious in some instances. So, this creating the workers' rights platform in collaboration with the Let Your Voice Be Heard talk show, it was not in vain. It was not in vain. And I pray God continue to bless us and bless the team going forward in no other name but in the mighty name of Jesus. What God bless, no man put asunder, in no other name but in God's Jesus' holy name.
Before I go, I shouted out my brother. And I said, Renision Jeffrey. I shouted it out there from quite up the road, boy. Quite up the road. And I said,
but I see Sean say he had to face that same magistrate sometime soon. Sean, postpone that case, boy. Oh God. Or get a lawyer Oh God, get a lawyer, Sean. I ain't lying. Hey, you listen to what brother say you go through? You know, T don't laugh at good thing, but Mr. Jeffrey, at least you're in the land that you live in, you live to tell the story, because when it was you alone with all them voices screaming in your head and nobody was listening, God was listening. And if he could bring it to it, he will bring it through it, and he's going to bring it through it. You just have to ask God for protection now and deliverance, and one day you'll be able to meet up with your son, because the little child high nigga nose. You have your nose, you have your face, it's a handsome little fella, you know? Oh God, look at the faces. That's your ID card, boy. Oh God. Nonetheless, God is good. Thank you for the opportunity to interview you, Mr. Jeffrey. And you have a pleasant night. And to everybody in the comment section, pleasant good night. I see Margs was there. Oh, I saw Miss Sean Felix came up, but she came up on the late half though. And other people, Angela Richards, Miss Jones, and everybody. I can't call everybody's name, but I want to say thank you for joining us here tonight to hear this true story of what Mr. Renision Jeffrey, I want to say Jefferson, would have had to undergo under the justice system. It is so sad. Thank you very much, Mr. Renision Jeffrey. So we're not hearing you. We're not hearing you.
I said thanks for joining me here and standing up with me here tonight, man. It was good. And thanks to everybody in the comment section for showing up here and standing with me here. And I hope you continue to stand with us as we try to make a wrong right in this country. Many of us here would have been rooting for bad company in Trinidad, bad governance where we now experience it. And this 2 years is our journey. So I hope you stand with us going forward within the future. So Candace, well, we out and out, Xavier, thanks. And we out and out here for tonight.
Okay, bye guys.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. How I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Ooh. When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, yeah, yeah. Then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I was asleep, he left $1 under my sheet. Never dreamed that he would be gone from me. If I could steal one final glance, one final step, one final dance with him, I'd play a song that would never, ever end. 'Cause I'd love, love, love to dance
unlawful psychiatric detention of father during custody hearing. Again, High Court slams unlawful psychiatric detention of father during custody hearing. A High Court judge has ruled that a .14 father was unlawfully committed to St. Anne's Psychiatric Hospital during a child custody matter, finding his constitutional rights was breached. In a judgment by Justice Marcia Caesars, the court found that senior magistrate Alicia Chanka acted without jurisdiction when she ordered Jeffrey to undergo 14-day psychiatric assessment in 2020. Judge ruled Jeffrey 92 hours detention violated his rights to liberty and due process, and that his treatment amounted to cruel, inhumane, degrading treatment. Jeffrey, who represented himself in a civil custody and paternity case, was perceived to be acting erratically in court. However, two psychiatrists later determined behavior was linked to stress and that he had no mental illness. The court found that magistrate wrongfully used provisions of Mental Health Act meant for criminal matters in a civil case, leading to Jeffrey's detention at St. Anne's Hospital. Jeffrey was handcuffed, searched, detained at a police station, later taken to the psychiatric facility where he was released after doctors confirmed he had no psychiatric disorder. Justice Caesar ruled that he was denied a fair process because he was not warned that committal was being considered, given a chance to respond, or allowed legal representation. The state has been ordered to pay Jeffrey's legal costs, with the court set to decide on damages on November the 10th. Also, ladies and gentlemen, in other news, crime, highway...
Water softens the same boiling water. The same boiling water softens the potato, but hardens the egg. The pressure is the same. The difference is what's inside. Life doesn't define you by what happens to you. It reveals who you choose to become.
A venomous snake slithered toward a sleeping porcupine and wrapped itself around it. It believed it had finally found a warm and safe place to rest, but a few moments later, the porcupine woke up and instinctively raised all the sharp quills covering its body. The snake felt a sudden burst of pain, yet instead of letting go, it tightened its grip even more. With every second, the quills pierced deeper into its body. Blood began to flow, but the snake refused to release its hold. It kept believing that if it just held on a little longer, everything would be fine. Instead, the pain only grew worse. In the end, after bleeding for a long time, the snake died. The truth is, the porcupine did not kill the snake. It was the snake's own refusal to let go, even while suffering, that became the cause of its death. In psychology, this is known as trauma bonding. Many people make the same mistake in real life. They stay attached to toxic relationships and people who continue to hurt them. Over time, they begin to mistake pain for love and suffering for loyalty. They become so emotionally attached that they lose the courage to walk away. But the truth is, real wisdom is knowing when to let go, because the longer you keep holding on to something that is breaking you, the more pain it will bring into your life. Sometimes, the strongest decision you can make is not to hold on. It is to walk away.
The deer is a monster. The grass. It'll tell you the deer is a monster and the lion is its protector. But if you ask the deer, you'll get a completely different story. So always remember, a hero isn't a hero to everyone, and a villain isn't a villain to everyone.